In this video, we're introducing the subscription coffee for the month of April. Welcome, my name is Patrick Rolfe and this is Coffee with April. For this video, we are introducing you to the subscription coffee for the month of April. And we chose something that for us has a big meaning and it's been an important coffee ever since the beginning here at April. It's actually a coffee from one of our longest ongoing relationships that we ever had, and a coffee that we featured the very first month when we actually started to roast back in 2016. The coffee we're featuring is a yellow honey processed Obata varietal from the Volcan Azul farm and farmer Alejo in Costa Rica. Now, for those of you that have been following us, you know that this is an important coffee. We bought the very first lot that he ever released of this coffee back in late 2016, and that was a 30 kilo little lot that came vacuum packed in silver bags for us all the way from Costa Rica. And that was before I knew Alejo, that was before I visited Volcan Azul. And one of the things that we really enjoyed with that coffee was the floral complexity, the chocolatey notes, but also the clear stone fruit character that comes out of that coffee. Now, from that season, we have been tasting it every single year. We visited the farm many times, and we've seen the kind of beauty, both in taste, but also in production that comes out of this varietal. So some interesting notes on it is that it's actually a Brazilian varietal that started to be planted in Costa Rica in 2014. And it's a dwarf plant, which basically means it's a shorter, smaller tree, but if you've ever seen one in real life, you realize that the yields on a healthy Obata tree is quite amazing, making this a varietal that is very sustainable for farmers. As one, it makes a really tasty cup of coffee, and two, it's a very high yielding tree, which is then increasing the profit per square meter basically for the farmer at the farm. So this is something that we want to support. This is something that Alejo has been focusing on at Volcan Azul for many, many years. It's also within the category of a resistant varietal, which makes it easier to farm in a climate that is unfortunately have a lot of issue with different kinds of diseases, right? Now, interesting thing as well with the varietal in itself is that it is a hybrid varietal, which basically means in this case that it's a cross between a Villa Sarchi and a Timor, which is interesting because Villa Sarchi is very well known as an individual varietal if you look at, for example, El Salvador and Costa Rica. And some of the best profiles there are very floral, they're very red fruit driven, and actually comes out really, really tasty. Now, for me personally, the first time I ever tried the Obata varietal was actually in Brazil, coming out of Fazenda Ambiental, that had this beautiful, beautiful, fully organic lot that I thought was absolutely amazing. And the reason why I thought so was the floral qualities that comes out of it. And we see this transitioning also over to Alejo's farm at Volcan Azul. So we have some floral qualities, again, those kind of peachy stone fruity notes, which for us has become basically a signum for Volcan Azul. Is something we taste in most of their coffees and that we think are really interesting. Now, Alejo's Obata grows up at 1600 meters, which is also high altitude for this varietal, much higher than what you can find in, for example, in Brazil. It's gone through a yellow honey process, which means that about 10 to 15% of the mucilage is still left on when it goes into drying, basically. And this also helps to kind of get the coffee a bit more sweetness and a bit more balance. Basically a washed coffee, but just a tiny bit more structure. Now, when it comes to roasting this coffee, what we're doing is that we're basically extending the roasting time a bit more than our usual coffees. We're up at 11 minutes and 10 seconds with a total time or a time after crack of 1 minute and 4 seconds and a total end temperature of about 208, which is kind of on par with most of our other coffees. Now, the slightly longer duration of roast here makes sure that we get a sweeter coffee, a more well-balanced coffee. We're also avoiding any kind of negative characters that comes out of being the fact that you have some Timor in this coffee as well, which you can taste on some of the cup, but only minor, being that you sometimes have this slight spiciness going through. But overall, it's really just a very clean cup of coffee. And most importantly, it's a coffee that made us start working with Alejo. Today, our strongest relationship that we have in terms of farmers. And it's something that allows Alejo to actually, one, explore with a lot more resistant varietals, and two, also grow that specific varietal on the farm into a sustainable product that he can grow with together with his clients and partners, like we do as well. Now, when it comes to brewing this coffee, we have plenty of recipes, and we're gonna make sure to link to them here in this video as well. We recommend our standard recipe using a 12-gram dose to 200 grams of water with a total brew time about 230 to 240 with a water temperature about 94, could go up to 96, just to again get a bit more sweetness out of this coffee. But yeah, we're super excited to bring this coffee to you. It's one of our all-time favorite coffees. It's a classic cup profile in the terms that you have a lot of these kind of milk chocolate notes, you have a lot of stone fruit, and you have these beautiful, complex kind of floral characters in the cup as well. And yeah, it's a coffee we've been working with for the last 4 years. We're looking forward to continue working with it for the next 4 years. And we're super excited to hear your feedback and your thoughts on it. With that, we want to thank you all for subscribing. It's much appreciated, and enjoy your day. We want to give a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It's because of you that we are able to continue to make these videos. And we want you all to feel free to always come with suggestions and ideas on the content that you want to see, because we are doing this for you and because of you. Thank you from all of us here at April.